Hello, children. Welcome back. In the previous class, we had seen that Khushwant Singh's grandmother was a very old lady, and it was very difficult for Khushwant Singh to even imagine that she was once young and pretty. He also talks about the bedtime stories that she used to tell him, and about the stories, or in fact, about her experience while playing games, which he could not accept. He thought she is just fabricating stories, making up, cooking up stories. Okay. Now, today, we will know more about the relations and the intensities, and then and we'll also know about the bond that had developed between Khushwant Singh and his grandmother. Shall we start with the lesson? Okay, let's move on. She had always been short and fat and slightly bent. So, she has always been means the day since he had seen his grandmother. Okay, from that day onwards, he has excuse me. He had always seen his grandmother as a short and fat lady, and she was slightly bent. Actually, as you grow older and older, in order to balance your body, the elderly, if you see, they bend forward a little bit. So here also he is saying, from the day he had seen his grandmother, she was short height, she was fat, and she was slightly bent. Her face was a crisscross of wrinkles running from everywhere to everywhere. So her face was full of wrinkles. Running from everywhere to everywhere means her face was covered with wrinkle, not a peck was there, or not a space was there where you could find that there is no wrinkle. Okay, so the whole face was covered with wrinkles. Wrinkles, jhurriyan. Okay, that's what Hindi word for wrinkle. So there were wrinkles all around her face. No, we were certain she had always been as she had known her. Okay, so as we had known her. So it was very difficult for him to imagine, as I've already told you, that she was once young and pretty, because the days since he has seen her, she has always had those wrinkles on her face. She was always fat. She was always short. She always bent forward or stooped forward in order to balance her body. So he could not think, how can this happen that this lady had ever been so young? Okay, no, we were certain she had always been as we had known her, old, so terribly old that she could not have grown older. So, and had stayed at the same age for 20 years. So he's saying she had always been so old. Okay, and nobody can grow older than this. That old she looked, she seemed, and she had been this at this age, or this look she has contained throughout her life for the past 20 years. So he is, in other words, he's saying that his grandmother could never have been young. Okay. She could never have been pretty. This is what I said just now. But she was always beautiful. Now, being pretty and being beautiful. Beauty doesn't mean external beauty. Pretty means external beauty, but beauty actually means the internal thing. Okay, when you look at even elderly people, you feel like keeping on looking at them. You have that look, okay, that beautiful look on their face. They look so cute. Okay, so all these things come under beauty, the internal beauty, everything. But pretty means young people going around with that charm and glow on the face, that wrinkleless skin. Okay, flawless skin, all these come under pretty. So she was never pretty, but then she was always beautiful. She hobbled about the house in spotless white, with one hand resting on her waist to balance her stoop, and the other telling the beads of rosary. So she was always like this, and she walked around the house. Okay, and in her spotless white sari, maybe because she is a widow, and in our Hindu custom. We generally, especially in North India and all, we generally adorn the widows with white color sari. So she used to wear white, and it was spotless white, pure white color. Okay, and then with one hand she used to hold on to a waist so as to support her stoop. Stoop means bending forward. Okay, I told you, to balance her body. So she used to keep her hand on the waist so as to support her body, and then with the other she used to continuously tell the beads of the rosary. Beads of the rosary means mala japna, we call it. Okay, you must have seen these elderly ladies, वो लोग घर में बैठ के माला जपते हैं. Okay, and each bead is a prayer. एक हर मोती जो उस माले का है वो एक प्रार्थना symbolize करता है. Okay, it symbolizes one prayer. So she used to tell the beads of her rosary. Her silver locks. Now, silver locks. Locks means hair. So silver locks, the hair, silver, that is grey hair. Okay. Her silver locks were scattered untidily over her pale, puckered face, and her lips constantly moved in inaudible prayer. So her grey colored hair, it spread all over her head, all over her face, all over her face, and it was pale. As we all know, as you grow older and older, yes, the skin texture changes, your that glow on your face goes down, you become all the more pale. Okay. And puckered face, puckered means wrinkled face. And her lips, okay, you can see her lips all constantly, continuously moving in some inaudible prayer. Inaudible means unable to hear. Okay, so she used to, you can only see her lips moving. You will not hear any noise or voice of a prayer anywhere. Yes, she was beautiful. Yes, she was beautiful with all these things. That is, with her silver locks, scattered hair, white sari, and then pale face, puckered, wrinkled, okay, and with her lips continuously moving in inaudible prayer, and one hand telling the beads of rosary, everything. With all these things, she seemed very beautiful. She was like the winter landscape in the mountains, an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. So, here he is comparing her with the landscape, winter landscape of the mountain. Winter landscape of the mountain in the sense, mountain capped with or covered with ice. Okay, so everywhere, if you go to any mountain, or you go to the Himalayas during the winter season, what you see around is only ice and white color. Okay, so and this white expanse gives you some peace, some satisfaction. You forget all your worries and tensions. So an expanse of pure white serenity. Serenity actually means purity. Okay, peaceful character, calm. Okay, so it was like a peaceful, calm atmosphere when you look at her face. Okay, you can see some peace, some calmness, some satisfaction. Everything can be seen when you look at her. My grandmother, now from here onwards, he starts talking about the relationship between him and his grandmother. Okay, so my grandmother and I were good friends. My parents left me with her when they went to live in the city, and we were constantly together. So his grandmother and he were good friends, because when he was just a baby, his parents had left him with his grandmother because they had to go to the city for working, and they could not take him with them. She used to wake me up in the morning and get me ready for school. She said her morning prayer in a monotonous sing-song while she bathed and dressed me, in the hope that I would listen and get to know it by heart. So when she used to wake me up in the morning, that is when grandmother used to wake him up in the morning and while she is doing all the household works for him, she continuously keeps on praying, or the morning prayer used to go in a monotonous sing song manner. If you look at the prayer songs, you will find that almost all the prayer songs have the same tone. It goes in the same, there is no change in the tone and all. So in that sing song manner, she used to sing the whole morning prayer when she used to bathe him, when she used to dress him. And she had a hope, while she was doing this, she had a hope that he would get it by heart, he would also learn it. I listened because I loved her voice and never bothered to learn it. He listened to those music, but he never bothered to learn it by heart because he never wanted. Then she would plaster with yellow chalk. Sorry, my mistake. Then she would fetch my wooden slate, which she had already washed and plastered with yellow chalk, a tiny earthen ink pot, and a red pen. Tied them all in a bundle and hand it to me. So then, after all these things, she would fetch his wooden slate, okay, and she would apply yellow chalk on it, and then she would get those tiny earthen means made of mud, okay, ink pot, and then a red pen, and then tie it into a bundle, the whole thing, the ink pot, the pen, the slate, everything into a bundle, and then hand it over to him. After the breakfast of a thick stale chapati. Stale means yesterday's chapati, okay. So they used to make thick chapatis in their place. So after the breakfast of thick stale chapati with a little butter and sugar spread on it, we went to school. She carried several stale chapatis with her for the village dog. So after he himself used to have the stale chapatis with butter and sugar applied on top of it, and then along with that she used to carry, after that they used to go to school, and on the way she used to carry those stale chapatis with her for the village dogs also. My grandmother always went to school with me because the school was attached to the temple. So his grandmother always accompanied him to the school because there was a temple nearby. The priest taught us the alphabets and the morning prayer. So the priest used to teach them, that is this Khushwant Singh and the other children of the village. He taught them the alphabets and the morning prayer. While the children sat in rows on either side of the veranda singing the alphabets or the prayer in a chorus, my grandmother sat inside reading the scriptures. So while the children, they sat outside in the temple, okay, in the veranda, on the veranda of the temple, and they used to recite in unison. Unison means in together. They used to recite together all the alphabets in a sing-song manner, and then along with that they used to recite the morning prayer together. Well, on the other hand, the grandmother, she used to sit inside the temple and read the holy scriptures. So holy scriptures means maybe Ramayana, Mahabharata, Gita, and all these things. So she used to read all those things. When we had both finished, we would walk back together. So when both of their, that is my grandmother's reading of scriptures was over and his studies were over, they used to return back home together. This time, the village dogs would meet us at the temple door. They followed us to our home, growling and fighting with each other for the chapatis we threw to them. So on the way back, they would meet the dogs, the village dogs, at the door of the temple, and then on the way the grandmother used to throw the stale chapatis towards the dogs, and they used to fight, growl among themselves for the chapatis, and in this way they used to return back home. This was the first phase of his life, childhood days with his grandmother. Now after this, tomorrow we'll see how a turning point comes up in this relation between his grandmother and him. So thank you, children. Have a good day.